Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. This is season 2, episode 21, in which I choose my top 5 favorite cards of a particular player. At the end of last week's video, I spun the wheel of names and it landed on Robin Yount. Shout out to Dylan Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. Now, Robin Yount often gets overlooked with all the great players that have played the game, but he had an outstanding career. So let me give you a little bit of his background. Robin Yount left everything on the field during his 20-year big league career with the Milwaukee Brewers. In fact, Yount left it all over the field, winning the American League Most Valuable Player award at 2 positions and establishing himself as one of the most versatile players in history. Drafted by the Brewers with the 3rd overall pick in the 1973 MLB draft, Yount made his debut for Milwaukee at the age of 18 on opening day in 1974 as the Brewers' starting shortstop. With almost 2 full seasons as a regular before he turned 20, he set a new big league record with his 242nd game as a teenager on September 14, 1975, breaking Mel Ott's long-standing mark. By 1980, Yount had established himself as a power-hitting shortstop, blasting a big league best 49 doubles with 10 triples and 23 home runs. It started a streak of 11 of 12 seasons, posting double-digit home run totals from 1980 to 1991. He also collected more hits, 1,731, than any other player in the 1980s. In 1982, Yount led the big leagues with 210 hits and 46 doubles for an MLB best .578 slugging percentage, won a Gold Glove award at shortstop, and also led the Brewers to their first pennant. Milwaukee lost the 1982 World Series in 7 games to the St. Louis Cardinals, but Yount hit a blistering .414 with a home run, 6 runs scored, and 6 RBIs. Yount was a near-unanimous pick for AL MVP in 1982, becoming the 4th AL shortstop to win the MVP award. A shoulder injury short-circuited Yount's career at shortstop and forced him to move to the outfield in 1985. He proved a quick study, and in 1989, Yount won his 2nd MVP award, at the time only the 3rd player to win MVPs at 2 different positions. That season, Yount hit .318 with 21 home runs and 103 RBIs. The durable Yount averaged better than 142 games per season over 20 years, and his career totals continued to mount into his 30s. In the 7th inning of the Brewers' September 9, 1992 game against the Indians, Yount singled for his 3,000th hit, becoming the 17th player at the time and the 3rd youngest to achieve that mark. He finished his career with a .285 average, 3,142 hits, currently 21st all-time, 583 doubles, currently 22nd all-time, 251 home runs, 1,632 runs scored, and 1,406 RBIs. Yount was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1999. All right, so to help me narrow down the choices that I had to select my top 5 favorite Robin Yount cards, I went with the PSA Basic Topps Set Registry Checklist. It's 20 cards, all of his base Topps cards from 1975 to 1994. Now, here's where I would love all of you to participate as well. In the description of this video, I'll have a link to the PSA Basic Topps Set Registry Checklist that shows all 20 of his Topps base cards. Now, for Robin Yount, since his cards go into the 90s, there's not a link to images of all of his cards. So you may have to Google his cards or look them up somewhere else to find images of his cards. But it does list all 20 cards that you would have to choose from to pick your top 5 favorite. And if you could number your choices 1 through 5, 5 through 1, it'll help me compile the results for next week's video. And if there's some other Robin Yount cards that you really like that aren't part of his 20 card base Topps run, feel free to put them in the comments as well, and I'll have them as honorable mentions in next week's video. Now, before I get to my top 5 favorite Robin Yount cards, last week's video was on Jim Kaat, and there were a good number of you who put in the comments letting me know which were your top 5 favorite cards of his. So I'm going to start off going over the results of all of your comments from last week, see how your top 5 matches up with my top 5. There's not too much matching going on this time, and I'll explain more. But we'll go over the results for Jim Kaat. Then I'll get into my top 5 favorite Robin Yount cards. I'll turn the camera around and show off the Robin Yount cards that I have in my collection. I do have his complete vintage run, not his entire playing days run, but I do have his complete vintage run, and I'll show off those cards. And then we'll wrap things up by spinning the wheel of names to see which player will be selected for next week's video. So let's get started. All right, for Jim Kaat, you had 24 cards to choose from. A lot of cards to choose from his 1960 Topps rookie card to his 1983 Topps card. So there were 11 of you who replied in the comments letting me know which were your top 5 favorite cards of his. And here are the top cards that were selected. Leading the way is his 1960 Topps rookie card with 6 selections. Also, his 1965 Topps card had 6 selections. His 1973 Topps card had 5 selections. Then there was a 3-way tie with his 1967, 68, and 71 Topps cards with 4 selections each. Now, out of his 24 cards, there were only 4 that did not get any selections. His 61, 69, 82, and 83 Topps cards. So your votes were spread out a lot. Which was actually really nice to see that a lot of you really liked a lot of different Jim Kaat cards. But again, these were the top ones that were selected. Now, before we see how your top 5 matches up with my top 5, there were some honorable mentions, starting off with his 1963 Fleer card, his 1971 Topps Greatest Moments, his 1972 Topps In Action. Then we have his 1975 Topps Mini card, his 1976 Kellogg's, then the 1988 Pacific Legends card, and finally, his 2024 Topps T206 autograph card. Really cool card there. All right. Now, here's where things get interesting, and actually, I love to see this. I love to see differing opinions on cards that people like versus what other cards like. So here are how your top 5 matches up with my top 5, and they don't match up much at all. At number 5, you had his 1960 Topps rookie card, which I did not have in my top 5. Then at number 4, you had his 73 Topps card, which I had as my 5th favorite, so that's sort of close. Then at number 3, you had his 67 Topps card, which I did not have in my top 5. At number 2, you had his 1968 Topps card, which I also did not have in my top 5. So 3 of my top 5 didn't make your top 5 at all. But at number 1, there was a general consensus that you liked his 1965 Topps card, which I had as my favorite Jim Kaat card as well. All right, let's get into Robin Yount. Again, you have 20 cards to choose from, like I did, from his 75 Topps rookie card to his 1994 Topps card. So at number 5 for me, I went with his 1985 Topps card. Now, if you notice, it does mark him as shortstop, but in my background there, I think it was 85 that he moved to the outfield. But just like the design of the 85 Topps card, the color combination, him showing him fielding at shortstop. I think it's just a really cool card. Normally, you see either portrait images or a player batting, but here is a pretty cool fielding image of Robin Yount. So I went with his 1985 Topps card. At number 4, I went with his 1991 Topps card. The more I'm doing these videos in this series, and when players have cards that make it to the 1991 Topps set, I'm really gaining a new love for the design of the 1991 Topps set. I know it's part of the quote-unquote junk wax era, but there are some great images, and I really love the design of the 1991 Topps set. I know there are a lot of you vintage guys out there that may not look at this card and have any interest in it, but I just think it's a great design. That great image of him with the follow-through swing, the color combinations, just I really like the look of that Robin Yount card. So I had it as number 4, as that's my number 4 favorite Robin Yount card. All right, now we're going to get into more of the vintage cards I have on my list. At number 3, more of a sentimental pick, his 1978 Topps. You can see the really young Robin Yount there. Love the Brewers hat with the M on it. Looking at him, you're like, okay, is he going to make it through the big leagues for 20 years? And yes, he did, and over 3,000 hits and so on. Just like the image of it, and of course the 1978 Topps design. I know I'm a sucker for choosing those cards, but hey, these are my selections, and we'll see what you choose as your top 5. But I went with his 1978 Topps card as my 3rd favorite. Now for number 2. Dylan, don't hate me for this. I have a reason, but at number 2, I went with his 75 Topps rookie card. And I'm sure a lot of you in the comments will probably put his rookie card as your favorite Robin Yount card, and I understand. It's the first card that most collectors think of when they think of Robin Yount cards. Great looking card. Nothing wrong about the card. I love it, but my number 1 choice has a little bit more of a sentimental feel, reasoning behind it, and I'll show that a little bit later here. But you can't doubt that his 75 Topps rookie card is a great looking card, and part of that great 75 Topps set, along with the George Brett rookie card. So yeah, this 75 Topps Robin Yount card ranks high on my list, but not at number 1. My number 1 favorite Robin Yount card is his second year card, his 76 Topps card. Love the image, the close-up image of Robin Yount there, the design of 76 Topps set, the colors of the 2 bottom banners there. You can see the little caricature there for the shortstop, little action shot there. And again, just a great image of Robin Yount. And when I get to the cards in my collection, I'll explain why this 76 Topps card has a little bit special meaning to me, and why it just got the edge over his 1975 Topps rookie card. But at the end, I had to go with his 1976 Topps card as my favorite Robin Yount card. All right, I'm going to turn the camera around now and show off the Robin Yount cards that I have in my collection. Okay, as I mentioned, I do have his vintage run, so we'll start off with his 75 Topps rookie card. Really nice example there. I think it's well centered, nice colors, registration. There's the back. Now, here is why I chose, instead of his 75 as my favorite, his 76. Before I get to my graded copy, I wanted to show off this card here, that his 76. I've had this in my collection for as long as I can remember. I don't think this was in the group of cards that I got from my cousin. Most of them were 77s. There were a couple 76s, but based on the conditions of the other cards and how my cousin kept his cards, the fact that, the corners on this are really sharp. It is a little off center, but this is a really, really nice copy. I'm thinking that when I was young and going to my local card shop, I picked this card up. Why? I don't know. I think I just loved the image of the card. And so this Robin Yount card, while most of you think of his 75 Topps rookie card when you think of Robin Yount cards, for me, other than his rookie card, this is the card that I think of when I think of Robin Yount baseball cards. So this one just has a little more of a special meaning to me. I mean, that's, again, the corners on that are really nice. The only thing that's off is the centering on the front. But not, most likely I'll never submit this for grading. I'm fine keeping this as a single card. If I ever build a 76 top set, this would be a great card to put in the set. But here is my graded copy. Not too much different other than maybe slightly better centering left to right. Other than that, nice looking copy there. Backs look very similar. So I don't know. Would this get a 7 as well? I don't know. Again, I don't really care, but there's my graded 76 Topps card. Then his 77 Topps card, which you don't really think of Robin Yount as bunting. It reminds me of the 74 Pete Rose, where he's bunting. You don't see many cards of players bunting. That would be a good little project for someone to do, to collect cards that shows them bunting. But there's my 77. Then another card on my top 5, his 78. That's a really nice example there. Then his 79. And finally, his 1980. Still has that young look to him. Actually, he's probably only, at the time he would have been, maybe 22, maybe 23? Maybe 22 when this picture was taken. All right, so those are my Robin Yount cards. So let's get to the Wheel of Names, give it a spin, and see which player it selects. All right, 19 names left on the Wheel of Names. Let's see which one it selects. And next week's video is going to be on, who's it going to be? Hoyt Wilhelm. All right, great vintage player there. Some great cards in his playing days run. I know I have one card of Hoyt Wilhelm in my collection, so this will be fun going through the rest of his cards, taking a look at them, and choosing my top 5 favorite. But a final reminder, in the comments, would love to know which are your top 5 favorite Robin Yount cards, and with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.